Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on this December the 19th. And as I told you, with Frank Barton and Bill Cooksey as our co-host, Shelby McCall is our show producer, and Shelby and I are in here alone like we are every Saturday morning. Plexiglass between us, but talking about ducks, and I think we kind of warmed up today's show with Bill Cooksey and Frank Barton as our co-host, talking about where are the ducks. And so, I said, well, where are they? And said, well, let's check with somebody that may know and help us answer some of that questions, because as you guys know out there, that a lot of friends in Delta Waterfowl in Bismarck, North Dakota. And I'm not going to ask Chris Nicolai what the temperature has been this week in Bismarck, because we're complaining about 38 degrees, and there was a chance of snow flurries, and you couldn't get in Kroger's. So we don't want to know how much snow that they've got in Bismarck, but we do welcome Chris.
I do.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I do.
You do. All right. Chris Nicolai, he is a waterfowl scientist for Delta Waterfowl, as I said, in Bismarck, North Dakota. There's been, in the latest edition of the Delta Waterfowl magazine, was a story about where the ducks are was the question, and their Lower Mississippi Dabbler tracking project is going on. But welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray, Chris.
Yeah, good morning, guys, and happy to be here. And quickly just say, it was -1 on Tuesday morning, and it was 48 last night, and we've got 0 snow.
Did you hear that, Bill Cooksey?
I heard that.
Yes.
It's
well,
remarkably similar to our temperatures here.
It really is. I mean, we bouncing around and everything. But let's talk ducks, Chris. I know in your capacity, you guys in the Delta Waterfowl magazine quoted what everyone in the South is asking, where are the ducks, said Dr. Chris Nicolai. So let's talk about it. You guys have come up with a project trying to help determine the duck migrations and things along that line. And we're wanting to know, are all the ducks in Missouri, are all the ducks in Louisiana, or did they just miss us this year?
Yep. Yeah, so we've got a project going that we started just about 10 months ago now, what we highlighted in the magazine. And, we're targeting mallards, widgeons, and green-winged teal. So we got our first round of radios out February of 2020.
Okay. So what's happened so far? You been able to get some figures and things?
Yeah, we're learning a little bit. First thing was technology is awesome, but sometimes when you're moving too fast, you run into some problems. So a whole bunch of us that have been using this model ran into some problems where the 3D printer plastic actually soaked up some water. So we had some radio problems. The company's going to get us some extra radios for free, and we'll add those to our sample sizes. But, we still had several birds that they worked on. We just didn't get as many data points as we were wanting. But, we had widgeon, teal, and mallards make it up into the prairies, and especially with the widgeon and the green-winged teal that are more forest nesters. They went even above the prairies into the boreal.
Well, I know your capacity, Chris, and you've been with Delta Waterfowl as their scientist, waterfowl scientist since November 2019. I know you're an avid bird hunter, dog breeder, amateur taxidermist, and I really like decoy carver, because you may have plenty of time to carve some decoys if you're hunting down here. So I don't know if Cooksey caught on with that or not, but we want to figure out what's going on with things. We just quoted the Arkansas aerial survey from earlier this week, Chris, and how the numbers were just so low, compared all-time low, since they started doing their aerial surveys in 2009. So from your perspective, talk about this waterfowl season.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, in general, like what we saw up here and where the birds likely are right now?
Yeah, that's what we want to know. Tell us where they are.
Yeah, no, I mean, it started off the year as a great season. I was having a lot of fun, and then in a series of about a week and a half, we had 2 pretty severe freezes here. Cold enough that my daughters and I could walk on the open wetlands, out away from the weeds, and we lost, a lot of the white fronts and the cranes and all the non-mallard ducks pretty quick in both those 2 flights or freezes, that happened before Halloween. And after that, boy, it warmed right back up. Everyone's out walleye fishing, and the mallards, the Canadas, the cacklers, and snows and rots were still here in force. And yeah, they finally moved out of here about 3 weeks ago. We still got Canadas and mallards, but yeah, they're definitely not up here. But I did run down to central Nebraska 3 weeks ago, and well, I was impressed. There's a lot of ducks hanging out in there.
Oh, that's what we need. That's what we want to hear, Chris. Right, Cooksey and Frank. We want to know that the ducks are in Nebraska. Okay, so does that thrill y'all? Huh?
It hurts.
It hurts. Oh, Frank, your ducks are in Nebraska.
Well, I'm not hunting Nebraska. I'm sorry.
Well, a lot of our people are trying to figure that out, Chris. And I know, again, we're talking to Dr. Chris Nicolai, a Delta waterfowl biologist. And so I assume, Chris, that this has been something you guys, as you started, say, last February, that the reason for this thing is trying to get a better handle on where the ducks are and where they're going. Is that right?
Big time. Yeah, it's the perfect timing where technology is finally past this point where it opens up a whole can of worms for a much cheaper price than we've done in the past. So, yeah, and we're putting out these new radios that only weigh 15 grams. We are putting some bigger ones on the bigger birds like mallards, 10 grams and 15 grams. And it just lets us gather so much data that we can answer way more questions than we ever dreamed possible.
How will these enable you to actually determine where the ducks nested?
Yes and no. So it'll definitely, like I mentioned in the article, and you can tell basically every meter where it's at. So yeah, we've got these things in the right conditions. They can give us locations more than once an hour. And, if you start getting, in 3 days, let's say you get 36 pings right on the same spot, you can assume she was nesting.
So I like your quote here. If a radio tag duck were to fly in your window and land on your couch, I could tell you which cushion it is on.
Oh, yeah. Nope. And we've had lots of reasons why they've ended up in people's houses, both legal and illegally. And, yeah, we can tell where they are with pretty good accuracy. Now, it's mostly do the maps that we have on our programs, are they current enough to accurately depict where these are? So, yeah, it's a lot of fun, these new technologies we have.
Well, I know you spent a lot of time with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. We're trying, in this age of technology, we're trying to find answers to questions that we've been trying to find answers for many, many years. And Bill, when you hear these things, as you said, you've been duck hunting 49 years, and we're still technologically trying to find where the ducks are.
Well, what the cool thing is with this technology, as Chris said, with some studies out of Louisiana and Arkansas that are ongoing, and his study, even things that we thought we knew, we're relearning. I mean, some of the blue-winged teal stuff that has been found over the last with these new telemetry devices has been just insane. Yeah, so it's wild. I mean, they're a lot more dynamic than I think most of us ever dreamed.
Well, and he also mentioned these devices, these monitoring devices that they're putting on. I think you said 30 ducks in February or something like that, Chris. weigh and get this, folks. Lightweight is not the right word. 1/3 ounce. I mean, that's just amazing that you can put the.
Yeah. Keep in mind too, they got a solar panel on their back, so that's what makes them so light. Is everything doesn't have to be put in the battery when you let the bird go. You can get by with a way smaller battery, be able to recharge it often, and it just shaves the weight off of that whole thing.
Wow. Okay. It's just pretty amazing. And I know, Frank, you've been a duck hunter for a long time yourself. And Frank was talking about, Chris, earlier, what you got a limit of, did you say gadwalls, Frank? Is that right? Earlier this week?
Correct.
Yeah. Has that happened in December before where you hunt? I mean, is to get a limit of gadwalls early in December?
No. Normally we get some mallards thrown in there, but we're just not seeing that many mallards.
Yeah, and that's our question down here, Chris. And so I would recommend, and tell them, Chris, where they can go to get information on this program and the Delta Waterfowl Magazine, how they can sign up, become members. Talk about that, because I know you folks are in the science business. So talk about how people can hook up to this.
Yeah, well, go to our website. It has all the information you can get. You can get memberships. You can donate additional funds and direct them to specific projects you like. Get on our social media pages as well, and we try to release information often. I mean, we're not doing it super fast just because we don't want to burn people out, but we get a lot of updates out there, what our birds are doing, where they've been, all the different species we're doing. We've also got projects with radios and ringneck ducks. I'm collaborating with a bunch of geese out west. So we're always trying to throw some neat tidbits. And, always feel free to give me a shout as well. You can get on the website, and there's a Who We Are tab, and scroll down through that. And if you see a guy with
a big
an
beard
armful of living geese and a bunch of down in my beard, that's me, and my contact info is right there.
And that's deltawaterfowl.org, folks. And also you can get, and then you'll get the Delta Waterfowl Magazine to go with it. Chris, thank you, buddy, for taking time. Finally good to hook up with you on the radio. Tell all the folks in Bismarck hello for us, and we'll stay in touch. Okay, man?
That sounds good. You guys call anytime.
All right. Thanks, Chris. All right, let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Be right back.